Hi, welcome again to Scalecast Building Designer. If you recall on one of the other videos, which is on the website, we started this step by step, the Manse, which incidentally I spelt wrong, and one of our members kindly pointed out to me I'd spelt it with a C instead of an S. Anyway, moving quickly on, what I'm going to try and do is show you how to put the roof on, which is a little bit more of an advanced project than a normal project, and whilst I'm going, I'm also going to show you a few more tips about moving around the screens, so we sort of kill two birds with one stone. So this is where we left off. With the Manse already built, we'd actually selected all the parts and we'd grouped them together with the group button. So I'm just going to leave it in that state so we don't end up breaking it apart or accidentally clicking on anything. I want to get the view so I can see what I'm doing, so I've just clicked that part there and the fit to view selection, which I'm going to stop telling you soon because I'm sure you're used to it, and I can see everything I need. So incidentally, if you hold the shift key down and you right mouse click, you can actually slide the view yourself around to whatever plane you want. So that's the shift key and the right mouse click. Okay, and I've just put the video up for importing parts and imported the roof parts here, and I've just copied the casts so that I've got them laid out exactly like the mould would be laid out. So here we go then. Okay, so I'm looking at this roof section here, this main roof section. I can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces wide, so I'm going to need at least 4 pieces along that plane and then some little end parts. So I'm going to click the shift and bring 2 parts, press Ctrl and D to duplicate them, and bring them down onto the grid that I want to work on. I'll just zoom out a little bit. I'm going to Ctrl and D again on those 2 parts and move them over to the left because I know I need 4. I'm going to hold shift, right mouse, and just move over here so I can see where I'm working, and I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, and because I drag and drop to those, I'm going to select all 4. I'm going to click on the adjust and align just to make sure everything's perfectly aligned to the bottom, so they're all lined up, because I did drag them and I could have moved them while I was doing them, which I obviously did. Okay, so clicking on the helper shapes grid and the work plane tool, which we've done before, I'm going to slide that to the inside marker of one of the roof sections. Click the first roof section, hold over it, and I can see that I'm 12mm away from connecting it. Slide it in carefully until you get it to 0. Just a little bit delicate on the mouse. Oops, a little bit delicate on the mouse. Click on the work plane tool again and bring the work plane in line with the second piece. Sliding it to 0, exactly the same again. Need to go zoom out a little bit there. Okay, so there's my 4 parts. I can still slide around and look at them as is. Click on the work plane tool, drop it anywhere on the face, and we've reset the work plane to the base. Okay, select those 4 parts and group them together, so they're one solid object, as it were. So now we want the left and right end pieces. So click one, shift, click the other, Control and duplicate, and drag those parts over here. Okay, so I want the left one to the left, the right one to the right. Drag around the 4 pieces, adjust, align, and bring them all on the same plane. Okay, and just as we did before, so you can see one of these faces, doesn't really matter which one you pick, the work plane tool, click to the edge, the big 4 parts here, hold the arrow key and move it in until it gets to 0. Work plane tool to the end. Click there, and now we've got all the 4 pieces. Okay, so we can just join those up together. Click group, and that'll group everything together. Once you've built 4 pieces like that, you can move that onto another project. If you look at the where I was doing the copying and pasting and getting started with Tinkercad, you can just save that up here if you like, and just keep it up there and think I'll use that again at some stage. So you can click on it, press Control and duplicate, and that will just let you have the original set over there, and this is the one that we're going to be working with. Okay, so we'll do this section from here to here, and this is where things get a little tiny bit tricky, because we need to know exactly how much roof we're going to need for that part. So generally what I generally do is just pick up one of these pieces, press Control and duplicate, pick it up. Okay, we know this roof's on a 45-degree angle, so we can switch this, click and hold, keep it inside the circle, move that to 45 degrees, so we're at a 45-degree angle now. And then we can move the part somewhere where we think we're going to use it. So we're going to use it up here. Okay, so this is where things get a little bit more tricky. So again, the work plane tool, and realistically speaking, you're going onto that face there, and if you notice, it's cut the grid right through the roof, so we know exactly where we're going. Okay. If I now use the arrow key, it'll bring it up to that grid plane. So when I get to 0, I know I'm exactly on line with that edge of that roof. Now I can either drag or use the arrow keys. I'm going to use the arrow keys, so because I'm looking at it from the side, I'm going to use the right arrow key because I'm sliding it right up the plane. It's where you think you need to be. If you then slide round the part, you can slide it over the roof. Okay, so if we look at that, we're up virtually at the top. I'll just click the button in there and have a look where I am. Needs to go a little bit higher, around there. Okay, so I can see that I need to add some more down here to get to this part here, which is roughly 1, 2, 3, another 4 bricks, as it were. Okay, so that's how we manipulate the roof along that plane. What I'm going to do here now is I'm just going to delete that, and I'm going to reset the plane to the floor, just to back where we were. Okay, so I'm going to look at the sections that we've got over here. So 4 P's should do. Excuse my coughing. Click on the part, Control and duplicate, and just slide it over here. And I'll click the zoom button to get us where we're going to work. So the roof can take you a little while to build. As I said, once you build one, you can actually save that and keep it somewhere else. So I've slid that to the right. If I press Control and D again, and Control and D again, it'll copy exactly what I just did. Okay. So now I've got my 4 parts. Now you do this exactly the same as you did the top section. So onto there, the little arrow, slide it in till it's too far. That's not looking what I'm doing. Oh, I see what I've done. I've done that wrong. I've actually put it on the outside there instead of on the inside. Let's just do that again. We need to be inside the piece, so we're cutting through. There we go. So again, slide it so you can see the view. Click on the part, click there, you can slide out now. Missed it, do that again. That's what I'm looking for. There's my parts. Okay. If I was to grab that, I'd grab everything, so you need to get it a little bit square. So you can just drag through the parts, click group, and then if you actually get the two parts there, and you do adjust the line, it's always the same tools we're using over and over again, and centre those. Centre together, and just as I did with that piece there, I'm just going to quickly do a Control and D, which is a duplicate. So, well, I might need that sooner or later if I make a mess, so I'll just have a copy of those. I haven't got to rebuild that then, and then I can use that on another project as well. I can just pick those up and move them into another project, so I'm not always building the roof. So getting started takes a little while, but once you've got a set of pieces and a set of projects, you can just pinch different things from different projects. So I've clicked onto the side of this one here. I like to work left to right, right to left. It's just me, so 13mm. So they're joined together. And I'm not going to worry too much about these little end pieces. I'm just going to show you how we sort of do that. Well, okay, I'll tell you what, I will do that because you're going to ask how to do it. So again, some more little advanced tools, because in Linka you would make this piece and you'd have to cut it yourself to fit in there. And we can do a similar thing here. So take this one and just ungroup the pieces. Click on that end piece, Control and duplicate it. And then use the down arrow and just slide it down. Until it fits. Same with that one. Control and D, duplicate, down arrow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just keep tapping away at it or hold it or whatever you want to do until you get it to where you want it. And there's your roof section. Okay. Select everything and group it together. Now you want to cut these pieces off, and this is a little bit of a strange tool to use, but I'm going to cover it in here. Okay, this is where we're going to use some objects here, and generally it's this box. So click the box, drag it anywhere onto your work plane and just drop it. Okay, nice and simple. I generally move that down to about 5mm by the little middle button there. The little black arrows allow me to size it sideways or lengthways. I can move this around as much as I want. Okay, so we're going to cheat a little bit here. We are going to pick that work plane tool up. We're going to go to that edge. We're going to bring that box exactly in line with that edge. There. And click away. And then we're going to say that this isn't actually a box, it's a hole. So where we could change the colour, we don't. We could. Blue makes a difference. But if you click hole, you see it becomes transparent. The box is transparent there. Okay. Slide that transparent box until it goes over that piece. Doesn't really matter how big it is or how small it is. You could just drag that out now if you wanted to the full length. Or in my case, I'm just going to put it quite small so it fits over that edge. Then I'm going to press Ctrl and D and duplicate the clear box. Slide it over the right edge. Select everything and click Group. And those clear boxes will cut those pieces away. Oh, okay. It wasn't quite on the surface because it's left a trace behind, which it shouldn't do. So I don't know why that was. But that's okay. Just click on these boxes and bring them down. So they've gone down a little bit, 1 mm below the face. Normally cuts it. I think what's happened is that part is not actually sat on the floor, so I thought it was. Okay, and group. And I'll cut them away. There we go. And that's your part. And that's your part cut and finished exactly how you want it to be. Now we can go ahead and fit it onto the roof, as it were. You'll see that the second half of the roof is so much easier than the first. Okay, you remember the work plane tool again? We're going to work onto this top surface. I can't really see very well, so I'm going to move around. So we've cut through that roof plane. Click on this part. Slide that to 45 degrees. Then we want this to sit on top of that, so we know it's on line with the edge of there. So if you just grab the little tool, the lifting tool, and lift it up until we get to 0 on that right hand marker there. So you see how we've sat it on the plane there. Okay. Then we could slide it in if we wanted. We could just slide it around manually. So I'm just doing that for the speed of this. And we could go up and have a look. So if we click the zoom button, zoom in, and that weren't too bad a guess. Might want to go down a little tiny bit, but it's close enough for the demonstration purposes here. Okay, now you can click through that roof and through the building itself, and click adjust line, and you get the central tool there. So if I centre that, I know that everything's in the centre. The roof's got the same overhang on the left and on the right. And click the work plane tool, click away, and there's the roof sat on the building. Okay, so that's our first piece of roof. Okay, so now let's do the second half, and if you remember, I keep saying over and over again, the more we build, the faster and the easier this becomes, because you've got a multitude of things that you've already got and you can just reuse them. So let's take this roof and let's press Ctrl and D and duplicate it, and then use our right arrow key and just slide it over here that way. Now the tiles go downwards, so we can't just spin it, the tiles will be upside down, but we can spin it around that particular plane. So that's 180 degrees and let go. So we've already got the mould, the part ready. Okay. So then all we need to really do is move the left arrow key and just slide it into place, because it should already be set at exactly the right plane because we copied it from the other one. If we zoom in a little bit, we should see that we've got a pretty perfect join there. And that's the second half of the roof. So we see how this gets quicker and quicker. Okay, so I'm not going to bore you too long with the video because it takes a little while. The next thing we do is make the two parts that go over the top in exactly the same way and connect them up. So we would just get a part there, we join two parts together and start coming down this side, and then copy that over to the other side, etc., etc. And I guess the beauty of the designer is you don't actually have to you don't need to cut this angle on those parts. So we may just do this little one because it's pretty straightforward. So let's pick up a roof piece, Control and duplicate, bring it over here. I'll spin round so I'm looking at this side of the building. Zoom in there, and I know the part wants to spin that way if I'm doing the left hand side of the roof, which is this part here. and it's probably one and a bit, but we'll just put the 1 on just to show the theory. Work plane. We're working in that plane there. Click on the part, move it to 45 degrees. You can see on this time it's sat above it, so the little arrow says it's 14.38 away from the grid. Pull it down till it matches. Perfect, 0. And press the right arrow key, slide it up. Slide round to the left so you can see what you're doing, and the left arrow key, and we slide in, etc. Zoom button so we get a bit closer, can see what we're doing. Come to the left, and the right arrow key, we'll just keep sliding along that plane. There we go, we're there. Okay. And the left arrow key, again on this side, we can keep moving in, and it'll cut itself through the roof and leave itself where it is. Okay, so we've got the part. As I said, well, I thought it was longer, it isn't, it's a bit shorter, so generally speaking you just move it away and cut those 2 end pieces off. But I'm trying to go for speed really, so I don't bore you with the video, as it were. Let's have a look at the top bit. I'm not all the way in anyway, so I need to go into about there. So realistically it's not quite long enough. Okay, you can do this on the roof. I generally do it on the floor, but if you want to do it on the roof you can go and get the other piece, which is going to be that one, I believe. Control and duplicate. Slide it over here somewhere. It's gone right up into the air. I don't know why it's done that, but anyway, there you go. Just bring it down. Not the easiest way of doing this. That's why I build it on the floor. So it's so much harder to build up here. It's really awkward to build in the air. It's so much easier to build on the floor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just sort of delete that. Yeah, the easiest thing to do is build on the floor. Okay, so again, to do this, and we know we were cutting off, what was it, 2 bricks from the bottom. Right. So it's a little bit jiggery pokery. One of those. Control and duplicate. I'll just run this through this fairly quickly now. The finishing piece, control and duplicate, drag it together, zoom in so I can see what I'm doing, line, adjust, align, make sure they're on the alignment at the bottom, connect them together, click on your part, connect it. Too fast now. Okay, that'd be the piece that we wanted to put in, and then we want to cut 2 pieces off the bottom. Remember the box. Click on the box. Bring it down to something you can see. 5. You can just do this by eye really. It's about there. Left arrow key, slide it over the part, overlapping it, make it a hole so we can see through it. There's no point making it too big. Click and drag the pieces that we want, and now we can see where that is on the part, and we might just want to take a little bit more off, depending on how much hangover you want. Okay, that's moving 1mm at a time, as it were. You can change the snap grid here to 0.5mm if you want, and now when you press the right it'll only move 0.5mm, which is it's quite a handy tool. I generally try and remember to put it back to 1 because I like it at 1. Select all the parts and just group them together, so you didn't have to group it before you cut it, and that's actually going to be our roof section. So just as we did before, let's move this over here and zoom in, and we want to spin it there. Click on this part here, press the delete key, and it's gone. I like the part to be quite close to where I'm actually building because it just makes it easier, not sliding around too much. Click on the work plane, slide your work plane back down there, click on your part, bring it round to 45 degrees. Use the little arrow keys, it says it's -12, so it's below this grid. So you want to bring it to 0. Okay, edge part. Now remember, your left and arrow keys are working on the plane that you've got on your worktop. So the right arrow key, when you're looking at it from this side, will slide it up. And I can more or less see where I want it to be, about there. And then if I slide around, I can just slide it in. And click on the zoom button, and zooms in, so we can really see. So I'm already on the part, I'm looking at it, right hand key is bringing it up there. Be as very precise as you want, so you can really look in here if you want to. But that finishes that roof section. Okay, so just drop the work plane on the floor so we can see what we're doing. And we want this roof now on the other side. Not quite as easy because, and I'll show you why. Control and duplicate. Remember, we slid to the right. And when we spin this thing round, because we want the tiles to go that way, we've got to cut this side off. Yeah, you'd have to cut these teeth off of here. Okay, so what you can do, a nice little tool to have, is click on adjust, mirror, and you get this little arrow tool here. I always get the wrong one. Just do that again. Adjust, mirror. That way. I don't know why I always get the wrong tool there. So what I've done is just mirror image it. And it works because the tiles are the right way around now, except for it's changed to text, but that's fine, that's okay, because we're only designing the building to have a look at what we can build. Then grab your work plane and just drop it underneath there on this plane, so you know where you're working. If you see, we sat away, so click on there, hold the little arrow and bring it down till it meets 0. And you can use your left keys until you're in plane, and that's where you want to be. Okay, so fine, adjust that, probably go up another notch. There we go, it's even better. Slide away a little bit and just drop your work plane anywhere on the floor. Okay, exactly the same for the other roof. So later on I'll do a little video 3 just to finish this step by step off, and then we can find the roof cappings. There's one. Yeah, we can put the roof cappings on afterwards. You can always colour the parts up as well, so etc, etc. So I'm going to leave that video here where we are now, and do some more on the advanced stuff and the step by steps shortly. Okay.